Hello and welcome once again to TCG Center YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be looking at Gardevoir EX deck featuring Mewtwo Reunion. Yes, Mewtwo Reunion. So this is definitely going to be a interesting video to watch, and I will walk you through this deck list and to the potential of this deck. So just in case if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to more of these videos. So first of all, if you're not familiar with the Gardevoir EX is a very powerful stage 2 Pokemon with 310 HP and with powerful Psychic Embrace ability, which says that as often as you like during your turn, you might attach basic Psychic Energy card from your discard pile to one of your Psychic Pokemon. If you attached energy to a Pokemon in this way, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. You cannot use this ability on a Pokemon that would be knocked out. So pretty much you cannot attach energy to Manaphy nor Radiant Greninja. So you can you can't use that in addition to use Cresselia as advantage, so that's the reason why I decided to remove Cresselia from the build. But you can attach energies to all of your other Psychic Pokemons. And the only downside is that also you cannot, in some cases, knock your Pokemon if you want to do that, so you can maybe take advantage of Iono, for example, as well. So yeah, there are a lot of different variants that could potentially be used, but unfortunately cannot be used with that effect. Miracle Force for 190 for 3 energies. So if you have 1 energy attached to your, let's say, Kirlia, you evolve into Gardevoir, you attach 1 from hand and use 1 Psychic Embrace, you only deal 20 damage to Gardevoir, which is not a big deal, and you're hitting for 190, which is a lot of damage. So we're playing 2 copies of Gardevoir EX, and additionally 2 copies of Shining Arcana Gardevoir. So what is so special about Shining Arcana? I almost said Arcanine. Shining Arcana Gardevoir. Well, definitely that ability that says once during your turn you might look at the top 2 cards of your deck and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there and put other cards in your hand. But also Brainwave can hit for 60 plus 30 more for each Psychic Energy attached to Gardevoir. So theoretically speaking, if we want to attach 6 energies from our discard pile to Gardevoir with Gardevoir EX, that's going to be 180 plus 60, 240 in total. And if we attach 1 energy from hand, it's 270. So that's a lot of damage. There's no question about that. Additionally, we are playing 4 Kirlias with Refirement ability. You must discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you might draw 2 cards. Kirlia will definitely help a lot to get you where you want to be. You know, pretty much set up with all of those Gardevoirs and, you know, Mewtwo in play. In addition to that, we are playing 1 Ralts with Memory Skip and 3 Ralts with Teleportation Burst. So 4 copies of Ralts as well in this list. And then we are moving to the big star of the show. We are moving to the Mewtwo Reunion, which is not going to be super easy for me to, you know, put it on the camera, but I'm going to do my best. So there it is. So 310 HP on Mewtwo Reunion. Once it's been knocked out, your opponent is drawing 3 prize cards. Giratina V-Star is one of the worst matchups that you can potentially face with Mewtwo Reunion, because Giratina can use that V-Star ability to simply knock the Mewtwo Reunion out and take easy 3 prize card knockout. But if you manage to set up faster than Giratina and, you know, take advantage of getting prize cards later in the game, if you only have 2 more prize cards to take, you can either way go with Final Burn or maybe Psyplosion to, you know, spread 16 damage counters on your opponent Pokemon's in play and get advantage of it. Mewtwo Reunion also had the Union Gain attack attached up to 2 basic energy Psychic Energy cards from discard pile to this Pokemon. It can also use Super Regeneration and heal 200 damage from it. And it also has powerful Photon Barrier ability, which says that it cannot be that potentially cannot be damaged by Sableye. Let's say it can prevent all effects of opponent attacks done to Mewtwo Reunion. And we can put Mewtwo Reunion right here, right? There we go. There it is. It looks awesome. So yeah, and it's Gardevoir is one of the unique decks that can utilize Mewtwo Reunion. Why? Because you can discard with the Corlia easily, and also with Professor Research, and then you can easily put it once as in the discard pile. Once we have it in the discard pile, we can easily just, you know, attach energies with the Gardevoir on it and start hitting heavily with it. And the most important thing is, once Mewtwo Reunion is set up and ready, it will cause a lot of damage and a lot of drama, that's for sure. Additionally, we have one copy of Zacian Wii with that Roar of the Sword ability in this deck as well. We also have one Mysterious Tail Mew from Celebrations, one Radiant Greninja as well. Radiant Greninja is a very good card in this deck as well. You can discard energy, and once you discard energy, you can draw 2 cards. And also we have Manaphy as well. So speaking about trainer cards, we are playing 4 copies of Battle VIP Pass. So we really want to have the best possible consistency in this deck. And playing 4 copies of Battle VIP Pass is all you really want to do. As well as 4 copies of Ultra Ball. So with 4 copies of Battle VIP Pass, with 4 copies of Ultra Ball, and with 4 copies of Level Ball, we will have more than enough search cards to get that deck set up and ready. Turn 1, if you are able to get at least 1 Battle VIP Pass and let's say 1 Level Ball, you can set up potentially 3 routes and play. You can set up 2 routes and maybe 1 Mew, retreat to the Mew, use that Mysterious Tail ability, potentially find another Battle VIP Pass, and you already have, like, you know, 5 Pokemons on the bench if you start with 1, obviously, in the active spot. Additionally, we have 3 copies of a Rare Candy. So with a Rare Candy, you can skip from routes to Gardevoir, but the downside of the Rare Candy is that you cannot use Rare Candy at your turn 1 or at the turn when you played your routes from the hand on the bench, so it cannot be used. And in addition to the Rare Candies, we are playing 2 copies of a Super Rod. So with 2 copies of Super Rod, we can just get some Pokemons or energy cards, but mainly Pokemons from our discard pile back to the deck. For stadium cards, we have 1 Artazon, 1 Collapse Stadium, and also 1 Temple of Sinnoh. So 3 different stadium cards. Trust me, you need at least 3 stadium cards, because sometimes it's going to be really, really tough to battle against decks, and that will use Path to the Peak, and you're not going to be able to use your Gardevoir ability. Additionally, from supporter cards, we are playing 4 copies of Iono. There we go. 4 copies of Iono, 2 copies of Professor Research, as well as 2 copies of Boss's Orders. And additionally, we have 1 copy of Pheonia. And I think I can also just put them right here. There we go. So 4 Ionos, 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Professor Research, and also 1 Pheonia. Why 1 Pheonia? Well, put up the 3 prize cards in your hand. Then for each prize card you put in your hand in this way, put a card from your hand face down as a prize card. And this is mainly because we can stuck with the Mewtwo being prized, and unfortunately we are not going to be able to get it anyways. Only by taking the prize card when we knock some of our opponent's Pokemons. But with Pheonia we can actually try to get the Mew somehow a piece of the Mew from our prize cards into our hand. And how many energy cards do we play? You can calculate by now. We have 10 Psychic Energies and additionally 1 copy of Reversal Energy card. In my opinion, it's good to play Reversal Energy just because sometimes it can provide you with 3 extra energy cards in that baby Gardevoir, and that can sometimes be crucial in specific matchups. Overall, it might not be powerful as the regular version of the Gardevoir with Cresselia and with regular just a regular Gardevoir list would be with Lumineon, because with the Lumineon you can Ultra Ball for Lumineon, and you can definitely have Professor Research if your hand is bricked and if you don't have anything to play. But also a regular Gardevoir dex plays additionally 3 to 4 more copies of Fog Crystal, which can help you to get a Psychic Energy, or maybe just a Routes into play, or maybe a Mew or Zacian. So with those cards, a regular version of Gardevoir have much more consistencies. But if you really want to try to test out Mewtwo Wii Union deck, if you would like to see how it works and how powerful it is and test it out, you should definitely try to test this list. There's no question about that. If you wanna go very risky, you can always try to add some cards like Lumineon and potentially maybe even a Cresselia, but I don't personally think that Cresselia is really necessarily in this deck. I would probably maybe just prefer to maybe try to tech 1 copy of Lumineon, just in case if we stack that turn 1 without supporter with the dead hand, and we at least have 1 Ultra Ball, so we can Ultra Ball for it. Maybe in the late game Ultra Ball for the boss into that Lumineon, or maybe Iono. So you could potentially cut maybe something like, let's say, a Level Ball, but then again, if you cut Level Ball, you're not going to be able to get maybe Curlia later, or maybe a Routes. But since we are playing 2 Super Rod, and again, Super Rods are very important, you can maybe just try to remove 1 copy of Super Rod and just add that Lumineon, and then you're just ending up with playing only with 1 Super Rod, which could potentially be very devastating, especially if you're forced to discard, let's say, 2 Curlias and a rare candy from your hand in order to play that Professor Research, which can definitely be very, very devastating. But overall, I think this list is very good. It has a lot of potential. I'm probably gonna use it at my next local tournament and see where I can go with it. Last weekend, where I recorded and posted that Darkrai list, I managed to score 4 victories without defeat, so I managed to take a first place. So probably with this build, I'm probably also gonna finish it at least in the top 3, in my opinion. So anyways, guys, thank you for your time. Just in case if you're looking forward maybe to get any of these cards, make sure to check ccgcastle.com. Link should be provided in my video description. So just in case if you're looking to buy maybe any of these cards, maybe sell your singles or collection, you can do that on ccgcastle.com. So thanks for your time. We'll see you next time. Till then, have a nice day and goodbye.